In today's tutorial, let's work on the bold angles pillow together. This is a great gateway project in order for learning how to do graph-gan work. If you've ever wanted to do those picture graph-gans, this is a great example on how to get started. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to be able to change your yarn colors and etc. as we go along in this project. That's coming up next. Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today is Bold Angles Pillow Day and we're going to be making this beautiful graph-gan pillow, and we're going to be learning multiple different things today. We're going to be learning how to read a graph. We're going to be learning how to change your colors and things that you need to look for in order to make a project like this. The wonderful thing about this particular pillow is that the graph-gan is only on the one side. The other side, the back side, is just a solid back and forth single crochet in one color. So you only have to do the graph-gan on one side, but you know what, you are the artist. You can decide to make two graph-gans or graph-gan panels if you would like to, one front and back. You can do them different colors so that you can flip it on your sofa and have a completely different look. So let's begin, and let me show you how to do some of this stuff now. So here's a blown up photograph of this particular graph-gan kind of pillow. So this is a geometric kind of shape and we're just making triangles, and you're going to notice that there are colors that are similar. So you have two blues, you have two reds, and then a solid black in the middle. So it's what is known as called as bobbins. So bobbins are the fact that you need a different yarn strand to do this and a different yarn strand to do this. So if you had a main color, for example, you wanted this blue, you would have to make a secondary ball in order to have this blue on the other side. But here's my tip for you. What I would do, and if you were me and I were you, I would grab the yarn strand from the inside of the ball to make this, and then grabbing the same ball and grab the outside strand that's on the outside of the ball and do this. So therefore you don't have to make separate bobbins, and the same exists with the red and, for example, the green and the black or the navy up here. So it's just a matter of just being able to figure it out. So you have multiple different bobbins that you need. So as you crochet along in the blue here, you're going to drop the blue and the black is going to pick up, and then you're going to drop the black and pick up the blue. So you're not carrying this same strand all the way through underneath, because if you carry it, you don't get these beautiful clean looking lines as if you do carry yarn underneath. So you just have to make your bobbins. So we're going to be covering a little bit more about this pattern, so just one second, I'll be right back. So here we have the graph-gan, and the graph-gan is working in rows, and it says to start here. So once we find a place to start, we start here and we go on, follow the instructions. So I put in a number 1, so there's one box here of red, 27 boxes of this teal, one box of blue, and 27 boxes of teal, and then one box of red on the other side. And I did that just for the very first one because it's just it's geometric, right? So every two rows are identical to each other, and then we sink in one. Like so if you're doing the teal here, you're gonna sink in one over, and then you're gonna finish one back for two rows. And as you do that, it's just going to naturally form on its own. So you're going to be dropping yarn as you come along. So you do the teal, drop the yarn, get the blue, do the blue, drop the blue, and grab the teal again, and etc. So it's just a matter of following along. So when you go to start here, you follow along, and then when you turn your project around, you'll follow from this side coming back. So you will notice that there's only lines up here. So it has 1, 3, 5. So 2's there. They've just done it like this because it's really hard to read if it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's just showing you every other one in order to make it quite simple. So you're going to do that until you get to row number 28, where you're going to fasten off everything and then begin once again and starting in the next one with fresh colors or fresh bobbins to begin the next half side of this. So this is really quite an easy project, but I want to show you something on the pattern that you think may be wrong but is a natural characteristic of crochet. Going back to the main picture right here, and you're going to notice that you have a beautiful clean line right here, and then this one's not so clean, is it? It seems like it's bleeding over into the blue, and then you see this blue kind of bleeding over to the green, and then you see the red kind of bleeding over to this green, and this blue bleeding over to the red. But did you notice that what I just pointed out? Every time it bounces back in this direction, you have this bleed. Do you see that? That's a natural characteristic of these kind of projects. But I will tell you, this bleed is happening right here. It's just on the other side of the panel. You just cannot see it. So because we're going back and forth, we always will have a bleed that will show every time we are going to do a change, whether we are increasing or decreasing. We're going to be able to see the change happening on one side. That's just a natural characteristic. So when you go to work on these projects, you're going to notice that you're gonna have a clean line and you're gonna think that you're screwing up because you're getting the bleed, but it's just a natural characteristic. So if you get that, do not panic. This is just part of the fun here with these kind of projects. So let's begin, and I'm going to get you started. I'm gonna choose some yarn, and we need a 5mm size H crochet hook today. Now this project is showing two of the same colors right here, and this is a geometric design. You can do whatever colors that you wish. I decided to go within the blue family, and to make it easier for myself I chose 5 different colors completely. So each one of my shapes will be a completely different color. That is completely up to you. The designer has done an amazing job with this particular design the way that it is, but you can exercise your own creative colors any way that you wish. So this green, I would think probably putting it right into the middle would be quite sharp, and again, that's your own creativity. You're also going to notice, do you see that there's a green down here? There's a peekaboo color and there's a peekaboo color here. So we're gonna get started with just using one solid color back and forth, and on the other and on the end, just to get us to be stabilized so that we can start doing the graph-gan work. So let me show you how to get started, and this exists for also the back panel. The back panel is just single crochets back and forth, and so we would do it the same way. So we're going to create a slip knot, and I need you to chain 58. Okay, so we're just gonna roll back the hook and go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Go all the way to 58 for me, and you will do this even for the back panel. So this is also the starting of the back panel. So chain 58 please. So I have my 58 done, and now we are going to single crochet back across this chain, and you want to do it second chain from the hook. So there's the one chain, go to the second, turn it over and get the back loop only, insert your hook in and single crochet this, and you're going to single crochet every one of the chains going all the way back. So if this was the back panel, you're doing exactly the same step at this point. So I will tell you when we're not doing the back panel, and that will be coming up really soon. So please continue along to single crochet all the way across the line. So I'm coming up all the way across, and I'm just gonna single crochet right to the very end of the chain. So when I turn around, I'm going to show you how to do another single crochet. So we gotta do one more row of a solid color before we start jumping into the graph-gan work on this particular example. Okay, so I'm at the very end. I simply want to turn around, and if you're doing the back panel, this is all you're just gonna do anyway. You'll chain 1 and 1 single crochet into the first one, and then 1 single crochet into each. Now everybody else doing the graph-gan, you have to do this as well, and then the next time we're gonna meet back here, I'll finish it right to the end. We're gonna fasten this color off, and then we're going to start doing the triangles. So I'm coming up all the way back across, and I'm single crocheting myself right into the final stitch. And what I want to do is I want to fasten off, and you need to fasten off too if you're starting to do the graph-gan work. If you're doing the back panel, just continue, just turn, chain 1 and single crochet all the way, and you continue to do that until it measures the same size as the front panel. Let's fasten this off. Let me show you how to do that, and then I'm going to start with the triangles. To fasten off, just cut your yarn and just pull it through the loop like so, and just weave it. Just pull it through and just weave it a few stitches, about an inch or two into the project. And when we go to do the next section, so we'll be able to kind of bury that in even better. So what we're going to do is that I want to keep a mental eye where I am in this particular project. So this is the finishing side. So I want to make sure that this is the starting side of the project. So let's just turn our work and just put it down, and now we're just gonna quickly review the diagrams one more time, and I'll show you how to get started. So here's my diagram. We're going to fasten off with one color, and it's only for one stitch, and then we're gonna do 27 stitches then of the next color, and then we're gonna drop that color, bring up the next color for one stitch, and then 27 in the next, and one all the way to the end. So it's just a matter of now following this. In order, we have to really count the first time through so that we get it right, and then once you get that, it's a matter of just one is getting smaller and the other one's getting bigger. So it's really that simple. Let's begin and start with color number 1. So let's begin with color number 1. I'm going to create a slip knot to start it up, and I'm a lot more happier with that so it stays secure. And I want to come into the very first stitch that is available to me, and I want to be able to put it in So we'll just put it into the first stitch. You just put the straggler and the yarn over top just to fasten it on, and I want you to chain 1. Okay, and because this is only 1 stitch, I want you to insert your hook in, pull the yarn through and hold. Do not finish this stitch. We need to bring up our next color. So you have to watch, just watch how it's gonna go. So I need to start my next color because I need to have it clear. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot first. And what I need to do is that I need to put that slip knot onto this hook and pull that through. So when we're going to change colors, the next the finishing color needs to be ready for the next stitch. So the next one was going to be a different color and there will be 27. So this is the new color, so it has to be the final. So, and it will make sense in just a little bit. Just stick with it. So we're gonna do the next 27 stitches using this color. So 1 and 2. See how I'm burying the 2 stragglers in as I go? And I'll hide it. This is 3. This is 4, and I'm gonna let the stragglers fall out now. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And here's the final one with 27, but watch what I do. I go in, this is the 27th, I yarn over and pull through and I hold. So I cannot finish this stitch without the next color being ready for me. Okay, so 27, that is your 27th, but I have to have that next color ready. And let me pull that color up next. It'll be the grass color. And I'm gonna create a slip knot. And I'm gonna put that on the hook. I want to pull any kind of yarn tension, make sure I get all my yarn tensions right, and I'm going to pull that green through as the final. So that was your 27th. So the next stitch is the next color that is in the graph, and so it'll just be only 1 time. Okay, and I cannot finish that. Okay, it's only appearing 1 time, so I have to grab the next color that's ready for me, and I'm gonna go with the darker blue here and get that ready here. And I want to use that color then to carry on. See, so the green only appears that 1 time in that particular row. So it's a little bit of a fancy footwork to get started, and you really do want to keep an eye on your strands. What is your regular strands? What is your stragglers? Just right in this very beginning as we get started. So it's a little bit of manipulation. I don't want to really cut this out of the video because I think that you need to see this in order to get started. Okay, so we're gonna do this color here now for 27. Okay, so this will be the next one. So I want to pull everything nice and tight and just making sure everything is nice and balanced. Getting started is always the tough part. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna let the stragglers fall out. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27, and we have 1 stitch left. I cannot finish the 27th one. I need to pull the final color. And which color did I not use? It's the light blue. So I'm just gonna start up the blue to finish this off. This will be the edge, so pull this through and then start to use that. So because this is the final stitch, I do want to finish off with the blue, this light blue completely. Okay, so just go in and just do one, and then this row is done. So you have what you have here. So you have the one right in the middle, you have the start right in the start, you have the space in the middle, and now we're gonna turn our work and then begin. So what you have to be paying attention to, these bobbins do get really kind of tangled, so you have to make sure that when you're going to turn the project, be consistent about it. So I may turn it this way for this time, and the next time I may turn it the other way in order to keep these strands from tangling, but also you can manipulate the yarn balls if you have to. So let's turn our work and begin row number 2 of the pattern. So row number 2, it's identical to what we've just done. So we're gonna chain up one first, single crochet in the first one, so it's only one stitch, but we want to grab this color here, the next color, to finish that because the blue only appeared one time. Okay, the light blue, and then you drop that light blue out of the way, and now we're just going to single crochet the next 27. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and I don't want any tangling. And the reality is that I don't really need to count these either. So I can just look, because this is the same, I'm looking to where the blue is underneath. So I don't really need to count. I am counting just because, you know, I have the bad habit of doing it, but I can just look to see where the blue is. So I know that the blue is just matching. So here's the last one of the blue, so I go in, pull through, and the next one is this green, so I want to pull up the green. Okay, so pull up the green, finish it, and then we use the green then for the next color. So I just want to keep an eye on the yarn strands. So you'll notice that when you finish a color, it'll be on the opposite side. Okay, so let's do the green. So we're gonna go in, sorry, let me just get this green all ready. So we go in, get the green, but we cannot finish that because it only appears one time. We grab the next color up and finish it, and that's the next color here. Okay, so it's just a matter of a little bit of yarn manipulation when you're getting through. And now I'm just going to just crochet along, and I'm not gonna count this time because I don't need to. I can just look where this pattern is. So this is the advantage of this kind of Grafgan, is that it is geometric. So the game plan is going to change then in the next row, row number 3, and it's going to change because the triangles, the big ones, are gonna get smaller and the smaller ones are gonna get bigger. And I'll cover how to do that as well. So we're just single crocheting across. When I did the Volkswagen pillow, it had the front of the Volkswagen being that the triangle coming downward, I believe, or going upward. I don't remember, but either way I didn't really have to count it at all because it's just a matter of I knew that at the end that it had to sink in. Okay, so I'm coming up all the way to the end. So I know that the final stitch is that other particular blue. Okay, so this is my final of this color. Grab the blue up for the next, and then just use that one as the final stitch. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. So let's begin to do row number 3. I'm not doing all of the rows, I'm just trying to get you started. So let's turn our work. So in row number 3 we're going to get bigger with this color and get more narrower with the next color, and etc. So we chain up one and we single crochet the first one completely, and now the next one we single crochet but we do not finish it, and we grab this color up and finish it. So now you have 2 of the teal. The other color automatically wants to sink in behind. That's kind of the advantage to these kind of projects here. So we want to begin and start single crocheting this gray, and we know that we're making this into a triangle at the top, so we need to stop one stitch early in order to get that middle one to be slightly bigger. So I'm gonna just fast forward and take it to the center and I'll show you. So I'm coming up close to the middle, and I know that this green here, that it's going to expand. It'll be an extra stitch on this side and this side, so I want to be conscientious of that. So I'm going to finish off this one, but I need the next color to be this green. So what I need to do is I need to grab this yarn up first and then just pull through and just single crochet the next few stitches in a row. So just one. Okay, did you see how I kind of went? I want to show you that one more time. This makes a difference. If you go and put this, see how I carried it up? If you go underneath, you end up with this line that looks really out of place. So when you go to carry it over, just go up underneath that line and just single crochet, and that'll do a nicer job for you. You single crochet the next one like so. You single crochet the next one, but you do not finish it, and we're going to do the blue. And drop that green out of the way and then pick up the blue to begin. And so now you're going to start with the blue and continue the blue, and you need to stop a little bit earlier. So remember how we kind of commented that there was a bleed? Do you see the bleed here? This is exactly what happens. So you can see that does happen. It's part of the characteristics. I don't worry about it. I thought when I first started doing these kind of things it was really quite out of place, but it's just part of the nature of it. So I'm going to just fast forward and I'll take you to the end of this row. So this is what it looks like so far. So I'm coming up near to the end, and I know that they're gonna have an extra one that is to the one side based on the diagram, and so I have to make sure I stop a little bit earlier. So the next one I need it to be this blue, so I'm going to pick up the blue. I'll let the darker blue fall in behind, pull it over, and like I showed you before, we've got to make sure that that one that we're carrying over is going to be hidden well. So we're gonna come up underneath into the next one and into the final. So now this just turned magically into 2 stitches being across. So I'm going to just show you again one more row, and it's really quite simple. It's not a hard design. Let's turn our work, and you'll notice that all the strands are then ready for you on the front side of your project. Okay, as you see them here. So this time we've already made it into 2, so this one is also 2 across. So chain up 1 and 1 to finish. The next one we get started but we cannot finish it. We let it fall out of the way and then just grab the next color and pull it through and then begin. So again, doing that same concept of just sliding up underneath that stitch, it just makes it a better transition. Okay, did you see that? So see how it's carrying up? Just go right underneath it. And we want to carry on, and in this particular row we're just matching exactly what is already there. Okay, so we just carry along. So the whole point of this whole changing of colors, that's really the advantage to this particular tutorial on how to do it and to do it effectively. I've actually played around with different ideas on how to change colors, and it's just a matter of just doing it, and it's a matter of not getting all these bobbins all kind of tangled with each other as well. That's quite the big hassle. A lot of people work on very extensive picture projects, and the bobbles can really get on people's nerves. Okay, so in this one here I'm looking and I'm just matching. I'm coming up to the middle. The middle 3 are going to stay the same color. Okay, so I come right up onto it. Okay, do not finish that stitch. Grab the next color, pull up, finish it, and again that line is happening. Do you see that transition line? Okay, so you just come up underneath it and just single crochet that one, the next one, the next one. Okay, grab the next color and let that green fall out of the way. Get up underneath that transition string, and you'll have a better line. Okay, so this is really not a hard concept to follow, and you'll notice that it will look better. I think It usually looks better on one side versus the others in most cases. So you'll be able to notice that happening as well. So this is how you would be able to change your colors and just follow the diagram. So in the next one, row number 5, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna get bigger again, so there'll be an extra stitch in the middle on this side and on the other side. So the triangle will get bigger and bigger. The end ones will also get bigger and this will also get narrow. So this is kinda how you do it. And it's just a matter of just putting in your time, understanding the pattern. Just check it off on your little list that you have going on. And this one is so easy is that by the time that this gets all the way to the top, you'll run out of stitches because you're gonna keep getting more narrow as you get all the way toward the middle point of this particular project as well. So this is how you would do a bold angles pillow. Just take your time with it. Just have some fun with it. Just stay organized with your yarn and you'll see that it will work out each and every time. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. Have a great day. Bye bye.